Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Leroy, and welcome to my channel, 40 and Broke, where we're all about getting out of debt, saving, investing, and getting our finances under control so we can live the life we've always dreamed of, because that's what it's all about, living the life we've always dreamed of. So I'm sitting here in my camper, and I figure, hey, this is not too bad for a studio, so I'm by myself, it's quiet, and I figured I would talk some more about what it was like in prison. So one of the questions I got in the comments was, what did we do for finances in prison? You know, did you have a job? Did you get paid for the job? You know, what did you do? Did you trade tobacco? Was it basically, you know, what was it like? Was it like on TV and stuff like that? So people could send money to your account and you would get money, say, from, you know, family members, friends. I mean, hell, I was even on different prison pen pal websites, and I'd have people write me, you know, we'd be talking and they'd be like, hey, what can I do to make your bid easier? And I'm like, look, you don't have to do anything. And I'm just glad I got somebody I can kill time and write. But they would be like, no, I want to, you know, I've seen that you could get stuff in the store, and it'd be like, well, you know, I can have X, Y, and Z. So, you know, you'd have people that would send you money. And so for starters, you could have people sending you money. So you'd have a job in the prison. Now, like me, when I first come down, I was in the kitchen. So I worked in at Riverside, they had all these different kitchens because they were all different units, and each unit had their own kitchen. It was weird. Instead of having just one big chow hall, each unit had a small chow hall. So, and then there was the main kitchen, where the main kitchen was where everything was cooked. Nobody came to the main kitchen to eat. You just had all the food cooked there. So I worked in the main kitchen. I was a chef, one of the cooks, and I definitely wasn't a chef. I was one of the cooks. And one of the jobs I had was obviously cook all the meals. They'd have these huge kettles and cook all the meals. And but yeah, so you got paid for that. Kitchen was always a pretty high paid position, because what they did is you'd get your state pay, which the pay rate was 17.5 cents an hour, 23.5 cents an hour, and then 32.5. I was a cook. I got 32.5. I was a head cook, 32.5. So kitchen wasn't too bad. When I went to Marquette, I worked in the kitchen, obviously. And then I went to the garment factory where I was making the pants. We had to make the pants for the officers' uniforms. And they made bank. So you got paid. Let me jump in topics here. You got paid once a month. They had what was known as state pay. So I think it was the 15th of the month, and most of the joints I was at, I think it was the 15th of the month, you would get your state pay. So that would hit your account, and it would be X amount, usually based on the hours you worked. So in the kitchen, you worked so many hours. When I went to Marquette and I was in maximum security up there in level 5, they had a garment factory. So I made, I don't remember how much I made there, but 60 cents an hour. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, I'd bring home, like, on a good month, because you'd get bonuses also. Like when you were in the kitchen, you'd have the kitchen bonus. And if you were in the kitchen, skilled pay, you'd make about $70 a month. And that's decent money, because if you're a porter where you were like sweeping floors, mopping floors, cleaning toilets, stuff like that, you're only making maybe $30 a month. So, but it's not like you had a lot of stuff you could buy. I mean, you buy stuff out of the commissary and stuff like that. So up now, that garment factory, when I got to the top pay, which was considered a 5 rate, because you were based on rates, 1 through 5. So when I got to a 5 rate, I was making $300 a month. sometimes more, and you're only allowed to spend $150 a month. So basically, I would have $150 in my account, and then I was buying stuff like crazy when I was in Marquette. I mean, I was buying out of the commissary, which you can get your food items. You can get like cook up stuff. So you get like ramen noodles, meat sticks, cheese, potato chips, Little Debbie's, all your soap, cosmetics, you know, and your hygiene stuff. And then there'd be little stuff you could get. I used to buy a lot of books. So I had a lot of books. So those are the basic ways of making money in the joint. So now, like I said, when I was at that garment factory, I sent a lot of money home. So I would send money home, and my dad would put it in a bank account for me so that whenever I needed money, it was there. And then when I got out of prison, it was like, okay, so now I know I have this money. So that helped me. I actually had the foresight to think ahead to my release and save up some money while I was able to. Now, you also have, just like out here, you've got side hustles that you can do in prison. Now, we've done tons of side hustles. When I was in the county jail, there was a guy that was in the county jail for selling drugs. And I think he was a coke dealer. I can't remember. But fairly certain he was a coke dealer. But what he was like, I remember he was like, man, if you can hustle this well in here, if you can hustle out on the streets as well as you do in here, he's like, dude, I need to hire you and we need to sell drugs. Because I would start off with, your Sunday meal was always your best meal. There was this meal. It was basically like chipped beef with beef gravy. We called it shit on a shingle. So I would take that shit on a shingle meal and I would trade it to another guy that was just like on a crazy amount of pills. I mean, this guy like slept all day. He was on so many pills. Well, he'd trade his pills off for different little bits of food. He'd only eat once a day. So I would trade him that meal for the pills. I would trade him a dessert for another pill and all this stuff. And then I'd turn around and trade the pills for more meals. So it'd come up like on the shit on a shingle meal. I'd have I was in the dorms. So there's 17 men in the dorms, I think. I'd have 6 breakfasts, and then I'd sell the breakfast for this, sell it for that, sell the dessert for this, sell it for that. And then I would trade everything I had. Next thing you know, I'm trading stuff and I'm getting a stockpile of hygiene products or chips, ramen noodles, stuff like that, cookies. And that was just in the county jail. And then I would gamble a little bit on spades. And that's where I learned my lesson about gambling on spades. Always count the cards in your hand. Because what we had a guy doing was he would keep 4 cards and he had them hidden, and he was only dealing out 12 to everybody. So he would automatically get an extra book. And then finally somebody let on to us about it, and we were heated. That guy, he ended up locking up and leaving the dorm. But after that, I always learned, always count your cards. Don't play poker. I learned that lesson too. But so get to the county, get out in general population. One of the things that you can do is right there, play cards. If you're good at cards, you can gamble at it. I used to play spades a lot. So I had a guy that my buddy Stan, we would play spades, and him and I, we were really good, and we cheated. So we had signs, like if he put his hand on the table, and he would just kind of close his hand and sit it on the table, I knew he wanted me, had his hand like this, a club. He wanted me to come in clubs. If he was holding his cards and he tilted them towards himself, then he wanted me to come in hearts because the cards were pointed towards his heart. If he'd sit there and have his hand on the table and his fingers, hands holding like this, ring finger, come in diamonds. If he didn't do anything, do whatever. And him and I, we were really good to the point where we would pull all the spades and then make you play your hand. So, and a lot of people don't do that. They're used to cut books, stuff like that. So you can gamble. I know people that gambled and poker. They did poker. You could run a poker table. My buddy Logie ran a poker table. And so that way he got profits from the poker table. So basically 4 people play. He's one of the players. He's the house. The house always gets their cut. And so we got to the point where he would take all that stuff that he won and that the house won. And now we opened up a store. So if you're the store man, what you would do is you would sell goods to people, food, cosmetics, tobacco, coffee, whatever, and chips, cookies, and you would sell this to people, and then you hold it until state draw, and they'd give you like 1.5, either 1.5 or double of your money. So if they had to wait, usually it's 1.5. Usually I would never pay more than 1.5. I remember a guy telling me, you owe me 2 for 1. And I'm like, you're high as hell. I'm not going to pay you 2 for 1 when I can go over here and give this guy 1.5 all day long. So that was another thing you could do. You could be a store man, but the problem is you're only allowed to have so many items in your cell at one time. So what you would have to do is once you reach that limit in your stuff, if you had a good bunkie, he would hold the other half. Then you have, like we had that because of that poker table and running the store, we had so much stuff that I had the max amount of stuff. Another guy had the max amount. I mean, we had like 5 or 6 guys that had the max amount of stuff so that each unit was able to run a separate store and we all profited from it. So what we used to do is whenever new guys, and all of us, we were all Norse heathens, we were all Odinists. So whenever like a new Odinist would come in, if he didn't have anything, we'd give him a care package. Here you go, man. Just pay us back when you're done. Or if they were riding out, we'd give them a care package. Here, you're going to need stuff when you hit the yard over there because you might not have nothing. It's going to take you a minute to get a job. So here's food, here's, cosmetics, here's whatever, that way you can get on your feet when you're there. So another thing you could do is sell. I think I talked in one video. I can't remember what it was. I think it was with when I was talking with Nora, the Stock Explorer, and Michelle Morar. And if you haven't seen that video, I believe it's over on Nora, the Stock Explorer's channel. And I'll try to link that video in the description if I can. But anyways, I was talking about how I used to sell what are known as quarter packs and coffee shots. So you'd have quarter packs, which are like 7, 8 cigarettes. And then you'd sell them for, you call them a quarter pack because you'd sell them for a stamp a piece, which was 25 cents. But, so I'd sell them for a bar of soap or whatever. Same thing, you get a little shot of coffee for a bar of soap. And I'd sell those. Basically, anything you can sell. Everything's currency. Anything is currency. I had tubes of toothpaste that they were the ones where you squeeze peroxide and baking soda together, and it was just a Crest. I mean, I paid $2 for them up at Marquette. When I rode into Carson City, I was selling them for $25 a piece. $25 a piece. A plastic knife, just because some places all they had were sporks. Like when I rode into Carson City, I had like 20 of these plastic knives that when I was at Marquette, they would give you the single serve silverware. So I had like 20 plastic knives that I brought in with me. And I was selling these plastic knives for $10, $15, $20 a piece. And I think I saved one of them and sold the rest of them. So everything has value. You never know what has value. Something that doesn't have any value to you has value to me. So, basically any sort of side hustle, You know, it's just like out here. I mean, talking about the quarter shots and the coffee packs, the guy across, when I was at Carson City, the guy across the rock from me, he used to sell quarter packs. So he wanted somebody to roll the smokes for him. Well, at the time, he was like, hey, you roll this can of tobacco for me, I'll give you, I think it was $2.50, something like that. So I just sit there, watch TV, roll up a whole bunch of smokes for him. And once I was finished rolling them, I'd give them back to him. He'd give me, at the time, I smoked. So he'd either pay me in cigarettes or he'd give me, I don't know, a couple boxes of Debbie's. Usually he was a couple boxes of Little Debbie's or something like that. But he was a store man also. So I'd always run up a tab with him. So sometimes we just knock the money right off the tab. I'd be like, hey, I owe you $10. Just take that $2 or $2.50 or whatever it is and just knock it off what I owe you. So, but there's hundreds of ways to make money in the joint. I mean, I've barely scratched the surface on what people have done. I know people, they would cook up for money. I used to make fudge. I'd have this bowl, and whenever I would go, I'd take my ingredients, peanut butter, and then whatever other stuff went into this fudge, I'd take it down, and I would sell these pieces of fudge for $1 a piece. And as soon as people see me taking my bowl down, the fudge was gone. I didn't even make it to the I wouldn't even make it to the microwave area, and the entire bowl of fudge was gone. So, like I said, there's infinite amount of ways to make money in the joint, and you know, you just got to know what people want. If you can find a service that anybody wants, then boom, you got it. What's up?
I want to go yard sailing.
I'm doing it. You want to be on my video?
No, wrap this shit up.
No, you're in. This is going to be... See what I got to deal with? Wrap your shit up. So, there it is. Y'all heard it. I got to wrap it up. So, all right. Once again, give me a big thumbs up for this. Whatever. Just give me a thumbs up. I'm discombobulated. Now I want to go yard sailing too. The wife wants to go yard sailing. So, as you could see, I don't know if you've seen her in the video. Real wife, not fake. That's not a paid actress. That is my real wife. So, all right, everybody, we're going yard sailing. Y'all have a good one. And, hey, thumbs up. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.